everyone. Thank you for joining me on another live. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. I want to come on here today, guys, and talk to you guys about Sean Puffy, Diddy Combs, Ray J, and Beyonce and Jayz. So let me start by saying everything on Chanel's reality is in my opinion, it is for entertainment purposes only. And it is all alleged. Let me bring up my information. Give me 1 second. Let's see what I want to talk about first. I think I want to do Suge Knight. Oh, that's another person we're going to talk about, Suge Knight. So let's listen to what Suge Knight had to say to Chris Cuomo regarding Diddy, and then we'll talk after. So give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. Let's listen.
For people who have done a little bit of homework and know who you are, why should they believe you about what you think and feel about Sean Diddy Combs and any allegations against him, given your history of animosity with him?
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you or nobody else to get nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison. Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not no cheerful thing, because when you look at it, that man have kids. Mm-hmm. And whatever affects him definitely affects his kids. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of victims involved in it, and whatever affects them affects their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or get where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. But the truth part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done. Mm-hmm. But for it being happy and proud and say, what do people think? That's irrelevant.
So sure.
It's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ. Mm-hmm. I got love for Harvey. But I see Charles always got some negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? If I'm in prison, I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. Oh. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here. I get what you're saying about TMZ, but that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. Ooh. My interest is in what you can help people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure, that Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, First of all, you got to start with at the top. You starting with the top. Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, he went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy. And think about what they see.
Okay.
Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge. Help us understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison. That's just saying that they record it, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand, what tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do you think they show?
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I wasn't no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'll go back there and they'll be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test.
Passed the test.
One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test.
Child, not the
They
boiled
could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg.
Living Spaces is partnering with Krypton Home Fabrics, the top indoor performance fabric brand. With 6 exclusive collections and 30 luxurious fabrics, you can live freely and stylishly. Enjoy Krypton Home.
They have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
you just look.
Suge,
you got to do.
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any Puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those butt naked parties,
even
some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. They was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But that wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry, not for the people who don't get in.
Sure.
So everybody, you got to look at it like this. You see a beautiful woman or you see a handsome man, and it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, if they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves.
Not special.
If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, it might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth sticks and lipsticks and nose sticks, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young people with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about rich people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up. On the fact that,
sorry guys,
you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
New. You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Hey, I like to say this too, real quick. You got a woman that works for you is really incredible. You don't find too many people.
I thought you were about to implicate her in the investigation. I'm just glad you're not implicating Dusty in the investigation, Suge, because I can't take that.
She's not in the investigation. But what I want to do for her is, I want to. And look, I got to do this for her, but I want to turn her on to this clothing line called Girls Mondays to Sunday.
I'm trying to plug in Suge. Okay, so listen, this is what I have to say about what. Hey Carmen, about what Suge is saying to Chris Cuomo. Let me say this first, because I'm not sure if I said it. I'm pretty sure I said it, but I'll just say it anyway. Everything on Chanel's Reality is alleged. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like the content that you're consuming. If you are already subscribed, please hit the like button. Please hit my notification button, so that way anytime I'm gonna go live or I'm gonna upload a video, you'll get a notification. It's a free and easy way to support me on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can share my videos as well. So listen, with what Suge had to say about Diddy, I feel a certain type of way, because I didn't like when he said, or let me say this, let me just address what I didn't like. He said that, I don't want to quote him verbatim, but I'll just say this. He was like, Diddy, is being who Diddy is being, right? With these allegations, or I guess whatever Diddy's done in his past, right? That's all now coming out in the wash with all these different lawsuits and the allegations and him being indicted by the Southern District of New York, right? So Suge essentially is saying, Diddy's been doing this all this time, but this is basically, it isn't just him, essentially this has been done to Diddy. And so now Diddy is just repeating, whatever happened to him to others. And I just want to make things crystal clear. We have to remove this idea that, because that statement that he's making is giving, he's trying to, I hope in his, I'm gonna say I hope he's trying to just give credence to, that, maybe since this should happen to him, then maybe, he's unaware of the damages that he's doing to others. But I call bullshit. And here's why. Let me start here. We have to remove this idea that because someone, whenever they were younger or at any point in their life, were violated in a sexual manner or otherwise, abused or something like that, if they go on and decide that they want to abuse others and violate others, especially in a sexual nature, that has absolutely nothing to do with whatever happened to them as a child. I want people to just be able to separate that, because that is not the same thing. Those are two totally different situations. Because if you're an adult and you are not in psychosis, right? Meaning you're not in control of your faculties, right? If you're an adult and you're not in control of your faculties, or you are suffering from some mental disorder, let's just say that doesn't allow you to, I'm gonna say it like this, it extremely impairs you, right? Unless that's going on, you are aware of everything that you're doing. And let me tell you how I know that you're aware, because you can be mentally unstable, and still be manipulative. Be very, very clear. In my opinion, that Diddy is the personification of that. We know based on the allegations against him and based on the, I would say, video that we saw of him treating Cassie treacherously, he has the ability to break bread with hard heads or people in the industry, specifically male people in the industry, that he lets them make it, i.e. 50 Cent. 50 Cent been sitting on this man's neck for like 6 or 7 years. I don't see him, trying to beat him down, right? So he's able to make a discernment and a dissociation between people that he think he can take advantage of and those that he can't. Period. Right? He's decided on his 30-year of debauchery who he wants to take advantage of, who he can take advantage of, who he can manipulate. And he has those people in one category. And then those that maybe he wants to manipulate and become and become one of his victims. If he can't get them that way, he'll sabotage them, right? Basically what the Southern District of New York is accusing him of, drugging people without their knowledge and then videotaping them. Then they say they got like 200 and something plus video cameras from his home or homes. So if I can't get you the right way, if I can't just completely take advantage of you the way I want to, then I'll just video you doing something. I'll invite you to my party, give you some laced drink so that I can ensure that you're impaired. Then have someone, including him, take advantage of you in a manner that will, on some level, either A, destroy your career if you don't cooperate with whatever it is this man wants you to do, or B, will embarrass you and shame you into doing it, whatever it is he wants you to do from there. That's what it feels like to me. But I want people to be crystal clear. Just because someone is taken advantage of sexually as a child or even as an adult, that has no bearing on whether or not they're going to go take advantage of others. Zero. That is an act that you are choosing to do. Period. Now, there could be a situation where maybe some are choosing to do that because they're in fear of Diddy. So the name I'm gonna say, Usher. Maybe Usher was in on it. I don't know, but I'm gonna give him grace because I do believe there is a chance. I'm not saying that it is, but I do believe there is a chance that Usher has been severely compromised when he was a child. Because what grown man needs a whole child to come live with him for a year? Taking them to parties that he doesn't belong at. And I want whatever women that were at these parties with 13-year-old Usher, 14-year-old Usher, 15-year-old Usher, so on and so forth, that clearly had been taking advantage of this young man. Because Usher said on Howard Stern that things were going on. And then the Howard Stern's, I guess, sidekick asked him, so you mean to tell me that, and I'm paraphrasing, there were no ladies that tried to, and he said, I didn't say that. So if Usher is 13 when he's living with Diddy and ladies are coming to do whatever it is, the way that sounds to me, like I say, if he's 13, 14, 15, 16, he cannot consent. So those ladies, I would love for those people to get drugged out of the closet, just like Diddy. Whoever these people are, they all are savages as far as I'm concerned. Back to what I was saying about Suge. It's a manipulation to say that, well, we think that, just because this is what happened to Diddy when he was young and coming up, this is why he's doing this. If you want to be clear, my understanding is that there were multiple witnesses when Shitty Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, was in college. Multiple witnesses said he was, berating his girlfriend at the time, forced her to come outside, and then jumped on her and was pounding on her, physically attacking this lady. So let's not get it twisted. At this point, this man ain't even met Clive Davis, to my understanding. So why was he doing it then? I'll wait. He was doing it then because that's who he is. Let's not get it twisted. Let's stop with this. We're gonna act like we need to give this man a out. He don't need no out. He been doing this debauchery for 30 years. Where are we trying to explain away his behavior? There's no need to explain away this man's behavior. And I feel as though people that do that, they're just as crooked as him. If you don't understand it, then shut the hell up. Don't talk about it. If you don't understand it, that's fine. You can say, I don't understand it, but certainly don't sit here and try to explain away this treacherous behavior that this man has had for 30 plus years. And you know what? I'm gonna go as far as to say most of his life, based on what he said about what his why he got the name Puff. He says that, if I'm not mistaken, that he got that name, I think, as a child from his mom or one of his friends or somebody, because they said that he would just get all puffed up. When he got angry, he got puffed up. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of something called conduct disorder. I'm gonna go with that's what Diddy has. Because people who suffer from, it's a mental illness, but it's people who suffer from conduct disorder have a complete disregard for other people's welfare. Let me Google it real quick and see what it says on conduct disorder. So y'all know it's not just me. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to share this real quick. Let me stop sharing, and then I'm going to share. Oh, let me go back over here. I got to present it first. Okay. It says conduct disorder is poorly controlled behaviors that violate the rights of others or that violate major social norms as a result of poorly controlled emotions such as anger. Yep. So some of the things that people with conduct disorder, some of the things that they do is they are aggressive. They have aggressive behavior towards people and animals or animals. They love destroying property, lying, deception, significantly disregarding the rules. Sounds like Diddy to me. Just saying. Y'all let me know in the comments if you think sounds like Diddy. Anyway, let's talk about this other idiot, Ray J. I grew up listening to Ray J. I liked Ray J. And I really feel bad for Ray J because a few months ago, he seemingly was going through something. He was on I think on his Instagram, or he was on his social media talking about, if it wasn't for his children, he would jump off he would unalive himself. So let's see what Ray J. So Chris CUOMO, who I like, he's had his own, issues, and he's no longer on CNN, but I have the utmost respect for this guy in general. And so he has Ray J on here to speak about Diddy and Ray J's response to, Diddy's situation. So let's go ahead. Let me share my screen. Let's go ahead and listen to Ray J be a buffoon. That's what I call him.
He considers him a mentor as well as one of his closest friends. He has not spoken out since Diddy's arrest. Joins us now. Appreciate you taking the opportunity.
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good, and I'm happy to meet you. Thank you. What do you want people to know about how these allegations hit you? Had you ever thought you would hear this about the man?
I didn't. And I think it's a different time in this game. And, you know, when you look at our mentors and the people that have kind of shaped this culture, it's important to acknowledge the mistakes that they've made. And we have to hold everybody accountable for what they've done. But I don't think this is a time to tear anybody down, right? Instead, it's a time for this industry and everybody that's going through this and seeing this to learn from the mistakes and create a roadmap for the future of the industry together, right? In unity. I think that's the next plan that I think needs to be put in play. And with all the allegations and everything that's been going on, it is definitely shaking this industry up. So the importance of unity right now, I think, is the key to a positive future.
Why do you think we haven't heard from anyone until now?
You know, I just feel like a lot of people are in shock. A lot of people are dealing with it in their own way. But in times like these, I mean, we should come together. We should talk about it as a community. It's easy to divide and point fingers, but unity is where you build. You can have a stronger future for the culture. I mean, Diddy's been an icon for decades. We've all listened to his music. We've all been around him, that at least in my era, and have looked up to him. And in this situation, it's super unfortunate, but it's important to learn a lesson right now and ensure the next generation understands how to move differently with transparency and integrity. And I think transparency and integrity moving forward should be non-negotiable.
I hear you. And look, we need that in every culture.
Exactly.
You hear and may know what I hear, which is people aren't coming out because they either suspected this about him or they don't want to have any connection to him. And then I guess there's another group who's worried they're going to get pulled in, which is one of the suggestions from prosecutors. When you were with him, you had to have heard the kinds of things that other people heard about what Diddy could be about on the dark side and excesses of his. What did you make of what you heard, and what did you ever see for yourself that gave you an opinion about what he was about?
Well, for myself, and I think a lot of other people in this industry, I mean, it's all a shock because, you know, we've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff that people are finding out. Like, I've never been in rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed. And a lot of people in the industry can agree with me on that sense. Like, you all wanted to go and have a good time at a Diddy party, you know, and you wanted to be inspired. You wanted to go out and have a good time. And then you wanted to go the next day to work, and you wanted to work hard in this good vibe, you know. And so to see where we are now, I just think everybody is still trying to digest it and still trying to understand it. And even though, you know, there's still allegations and it's not anything that's
just allegation
factual yet, but it's hurtful and it's confusing to a lot of people. I mean, we all grew up, you know, listening to Puff and Bad Boy, and they represented success and resilience, but it comes with responsibility. And when people fall, right now, we just need to use it as a moment to reflect, not to criticize, but find a better way to move forward as leaders, individuals, in this culture that we're in right now.
Hey, thanks for.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. What I would like for Ray J to do is sit down and shut the hell up. Don't get up, because there's so much gaslighting in the commentary that he just said. So let me just address some of the idiotic things that he said. Hold on.
Know about.
It's a different time in this game. And, you know, when you look at our mentors and the people that have kind of shaped this culture, it's in.
What culture? Our mentors and the people that shape this culture. What culture? That is gaslighting. What culture? The hip hop culture? The black culture, the brown and black people who listen to hip hop culture? No, you're not talking about us. Address the person that Chris Cuomo is talking about. He's talking about Bad Boy Entertainment and its leader, its employees, and all of the people who watched or knew or participated in, knowingly participated in this egregious foolishness for over 30 years. That's the culture we're talking about. Stop trying to gaslight people into thinking, or even Chris, but you can't gaslight, you can't gaslight Chris Cuomo because he's a whole attorney and he's no idiot, which is why I love Chris Cuomo. And neither am I. I am not an idiot. And the people that are sitting here listening to this buffoonery is beyond. The thing that makes me most angry about what he's saying, when I say he, I'm referring to Ray J, is because there are young people who are not going to, who listen to Ray J, like Ray J, probably watch Love and Hip Hop or whatever it is that, he's on. And he has an opportunity to stand up to power and to stand up and say, yeah, I was at those parties. I can't say for sure because I don't know, I wasn't there. I can't say for certain that Ray J was doing anything at the Diddy party that's unlawful, right? Because I wasn't there. And also, Ray J isn't the person that's being accused of doing those things, right? So I'll give him that. But Ray J has decided to come onto this show and be a mouthpiece for ignorance, for egregious behaviors. And he's doing exactly what Diddy's lawyer did. Exactly the same thing. Let's change the conversation. Let's distract from the actual truth. Let's act as though what P. Diddy is being accused of some way, is connected to Black culture. No, it's not connected to Black culture. It's connected to criminal behavior. Stop it. Knock it all the way the fuck off. Completely. Stop tap dancing on people's intelligence. I ain't letting you tap dance on my intelligence because listen, on Chanel's reality, we use both sides of our brains over here. You can't play wits with me. You're not going to win. You're not smart enough. And I'm so angry that he's had this opportunity to say the right thing, and he's chosen to gaslight people. That's what he's done. Let me see what else he said on here that completely bothered my soul. And I was just kind of like, I cannot with him.
Important to acknowledge the mistakes that they've made. But
okay. He says, Ray J says it's important to acknowledge the mistakes that they made. The last time I checked, sexually assaulting people isn't a mistake. Let's be clear and intentional about what the hell we're talking about here. Okay? Be very clear. You don't mistakenly sexually assault people. You don't mistakenly kidnap people. You don't mistakenly beat the brakes off a Cassie in a hotel room. I'm sorry, at least for when we could see in the hotel hallway. You don't mistakenly then, after you do that, go and pay someone, the hotel or whomever, $50,000+ to keep the tape. Those are not mistakes. Those are intentional steps to cover up what the hell you're doing. So be very clear about what you're talking about. And this is why I'm irritated. I can't with the buffoonery that's going on. It's the gaslighting just bothers my soul.
We have to hold everybody accountable for what they've done, but I don't think this is a time to tear anybody down, right?
Right. Ray J just said he doesn't think this is a time to tear anyone down. When is the time, Ray J? When would be an appropriate time to tear down a man who has animalistic behavior? When would be a good time? Share it with us. What's a good time? I need to know what's a good time.
It's 6:05 p.m.
What's the reason? Like it's 6:05 p.m. What's a good time, Ray J? Child. I can't. I can't. I cannot. Well, let me look up. What was I doing earlier? I did something, and I just want to read y'all this definition of what I was doing earlier. What does it say? Where's the little? Okay. I'm probably not gonna be able to. What's happening with my camera? That's weird. Why is my camera doing that? I don't know what that's about. Okay. Oh, is that a video? Okay, here we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening with my phone. No scale can measure secret treasures. Keeps on getting better. So this is listed. My definition for Diddy. Diddy is a person, because I looked up the definition of savage or something like that today. And, I feel like it fits well for Diddy. He's a person who derives pleasure from inflicting pain, especially sexual sexual gratification. From he really thrives in inflicting pain on and suffering on others. He actually, in my opinion, he thrives on inflicting the pain, causing the suffering, and then having the ability to humiliate them after he's done so. If I believe for a second that Clive Davis, what Suge was saying earlier when we were talking about, Suge's opinion of what's going on right now. If Clive Davis is to blame, let's say hypothetically, allegedly, then I believe if that's true, I believe the thing that the most important tactic that Diddy got from Clive Davis is you must use blackmail at all costs. I think that's why they found 200 and however many cameras in this man's house, because there is no good explanation, in my opinion, right now for why all of the whole entire entertainment industry, not just hip hop like Ray J wants to make, because if he says hip hop, then that term is, when you say it to the public, in people's minds, they think black people, black rappers, gangster rap. That's what they think. It is what it is. So that's why he used that term. Again, tap dancing on people's intelligence, and I'm the wrong one. But I'll say this. If Clive Davis did give Diddy the game and told him, the best way to stay on top and the best way to do whatever you want and not get caught in this, that, and the third is to blackmail people. You got to get them on tape doing something that's going to put them in a compromising position. And then you can blackmail them. I believe that's why this man was able to stay with all of these open secrets, is what I would call it, in an industry for 30 plus years. I believe that's why the entire entertainment industry is on mute. I've never once seen the entire industry of entertainment be on mute. Because it's one thing to say, well, the hip hop people ain't saying nothing, but the hip hop people not saying anything in the music industry. The entire music industry isn't saying anything. The entire film industry isn't saying anything. What other entertainment plots are there? Or categories are there? There's film, there's TV actresses and actors, there's the music, the comedians, all of these people. How are they all on mute? How? I haven't heard one publicist, nobody, not one peep. Now they were all riding and dying for the man when he was being accused of those egregious acts with Cassie Ventura in that lawsuit. They were all on social media. You hang in there. I remember seeing, what's that guy's name? He was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Peter, y'all remember Peter? If y'all watched Atlanta, Peter was on there, and he was all on Diddy's line, his timeline or whatever, talking about, I believe you, bro, and this, that, and the third. Then what? A day or two later, after he says, you know, enough is enough, and I've sat around and listened to these people disparage my character and try to take me down and yada yada yada. Bullshit. I call bullshit. But that's the MO of someone who's guilty. I'm gonna attack the person within an inch of their life and say they lying on me. But I guess the Southern District of New York was like, we got time today. CNN, push play. Go ahead and push play. Roll the tape. You say this lady been lying on him. She could have left. She wanted it. She just wanted the money and the cash and the this, that, and the third. Push play, CNN. Go ahead. We got you. Right. All of those people that had Diddy's back, somehow they all faded to black in the background. I ain't heard one word. Not one. And it's one thing to say, well, you know what? I don't really know Diddy like that, or maybe I'm afraid that Diddy has something on me and I don't want to compromise my career, right? Most humans could understand that. I can understand that. But what I'm going to need you to do is have a little bit of courage. Have a voice. Have some courage. There can't be, courage without fear. So I understand that fear of, I don't want to ruin my career. I don't want to be attached to this mess. But I will say this, the thing that is so eerie is nobody, absolutely nobody has said a word. They sitting on mute. How? So either everybody is either scared of Diddy in terms of they might come up missing, like other people in his life have come up missing or mysteriously died, allegedly, or they participated in the debauchery and they're going to be exposed. But they feel like, if this is my opinion, they must feel like either A, fear, and fear keeps people bound. So on some level, I get it. So either it's that, or they participated in the debauchery of it all for many years. And they're hoping that if I don't say anything, the Southern District of New York will not, come my way. But I want to let you know something. Those people over there are very smart and they're very intelligent, and they got technology that's going to go back and tell them where your phone was and when you was and how much communication you have with this man, so on and so forth. That's what's going to happen. I just have never seen this before. So that tells me it must be a long list of people who are in fear of this man, or people who have something to lose if they say anything. Carmen says, a mistake is not a consistent 30+ year ongoing ritual of sexually, mentally, and physically abusing people as a proper gangster. Oh, as a paper gangster. Okay, sorry. It all was Puff's choice to make those sick asses. I agree. Those sick ass decisions. Carmen also says it was all his pleasure. I agree. She says he didn't stop. He got jammed up. Yeah. Exactly. 100%. 100%. And we're going to sit over here and let this, listen, what Ray J did on CUOMO's, when he was on there, all that to me felt like, it felt there's 3 things that have happened recently. The first thing was Diddy's attorney came out and said, the judge didn't give him bail. We offered everybody, his all his family, his children, everybody's passport. We offered him $50 million. He's not a threat to society, blah, blah, blah. He's not a flight risk. Here's his passport, this, that, and the third. As a way to convince the judge and the people that, he ain't gonna do nothing. The Southern District of New York is not having it, and I'm here for it. I ain't having it. But when his attorney came out and said, I believe him and we stand for it with him and Cassie, you know, that thing with Cassie and Diddy in the hallway, that simply was she stole his personal items and he went to go get it. That's your first response, is to drag this lady and kick her and do all of that. That's your response? Isn't he P. Diddy? Can't stop, won't stop. Isn't he Mr. Black Billionaire? You didn't have enough money to get those things again. You couldn't file what do you call it? A police report. You couldn't use the proper channels. You couldn't expose Cassie like you're trying to, you know, malign her character now with the attorneys. So that to me, it was just it's a bunch of malarkey. Then it's to me it's a distraction tactic what his attorney's doing, which that's his attorney. He's paying him. That's what he's supposed to do. And then I heard this Ray J malarkey, and I was just kind of like, because Ray J doesn't believe one word of what he said. To me, he don't believe one word of that. It feels like Diddy's people, whether it's his attorney, other goons, whatever it is, it feels like they said, listen, you need to go put on a suit. Here's what you need to go say. Because everything that Ray J said was very intentional, but it laid no blame at the foot of this monster. Not any. What it did was it tried to trick us into thinking that we have some responsibility and not, you know, holding this man accountable. We have our culture, is what he kept saying. These are the buzzwords. Our culture and hip hop, we got to do things differently in the future. No, that motherfucker got to do things differently in the future. We, the people, we ain't got to do shit differently. You need to do something differently. Don't associate the hip hop community with the savage behavior of that asshole. Let's just not do that. I'm just saying. Stop me when I'm lying about something. But I'm not going to let you tap dance on my intelligence and act as if we, the people in the Black community, need to kind of stand up for this man and the mistakes he made. This is not a mistake. It's an intentional act. And not only was Diddy doing it, Diddy was going around getting other people and having them join in. I don't know. There's a mosquito on here that won't leave me. You won't let me be great. I'm over here trying to be great. You know, just saying. Let's see what else this idiot has to say.
Instead, it's a time for this industry and everybody that's going through this and seeing this to learn from the mistakes and create a roadmap for the future of the industry together, right?
Why do I need to learn from Diddy's mistakes if I ain't done anything wrong? What mistakes have I done? The culture, what mistakes have we done? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You sound dumb. What mistakes have we done? What have we done? This isn't the mistakes of us. We don't need to learn anything. That motherfucker need to learn something. What he's learned is his ass is time's up. What Cat Williams said, it's up for all of them in 2024. I think that's what he said. Yeah, in 2024. He said, it's up for all of them. And I don't care who you are. Diddy, TD, Jayz, all of them. It's up for all of them. That's what Cat said. And he said, and I love this, he said, and for those of you who take that the wrong way, know why you take it the wrong way. So get offended all you want to. I don't care. Anyway, let's see. I'll just break down one.
In unity, I think that's the next plan that I think needs to be put in play. And with all the allegations and everything that's been going on, it is definitely shaking this industry up. So the importance of unity right now, I think, is the key to a positive future.
We, the people, are unified against Diddy. What are you talking about? Stop it. Again, gaslighting. What the hell are you talking about? We united. We united to take this motherfucker to jail. That's what we united about. Carmen says, Rihanna said that don't tell me you are sorry because you're not. Hey! You're only sorry you got caught. 100. Okay? Yes, Carmen. Let's talk to the people. Say it louder for the people in the back, honey. Yeah, he's not answering. You're right. Carmen says he's not answering the questions. He's absolutely not answering the questions. What this is giving me is someone who was given a task, given information to say, and that here, go deliver this information to Chris Cuomo. And I feel like Chris is kind of in between a rock and a hard spot because this is a guest on his show. That's number one. But Chris is not Black. He's certainly not a member of hip hop. And he knows that he has to play it very safe to not say anything that can be interpreted as something against Black people, something against hip hop. He's an attorney. He's smart. He's not. Listen, Chris is far from dumb. So Chris is like, I'm gonna see him and let you say something, but he really knows that he has to really play very smart journalism on this show. Ask the questions, but I can only say so much. So, but I still respect Chris Cuomo because he usually typically doesn't let people off the hook. Carmen says, look at Cuomo's face. Exactly. But y'all go online and because I don't want to take up all my time with just Ray J being an absolute sellout, in my opinion, buffoon. But the thing that also was interesting to me is a few months ago, I just want to share this real quick. Ray J took to his Instagram to share that there was concerns for his own public safety and that he might harm himself. And I'm a therapist, and like I said before, a social worker, and my job is I have a duty. I'm a licensed social worker, and I have a duty and a licensed counselor to report, right? So anyone that's doing something, egregious against children, against the elderly, against people in general, there's specific populations, but in general, we have a duty to report. No different than the teacher at the school or I'm trying to think, a nurse or somebody like that. They have a duty to report violence in general, and things like that, right? So if someone, is in therapy with me and says that, they may not say directly, yeah, I'm thinking about unaliving myself, but if they give a hint, and as a therapist and or a social worker, counselor, whatever, these things are going to be very familiar to you. Saying things like, I've been sleeping a lot, my wife left me and I just can't get my life together, on and on and on. There's all kind of hints. But you have a duty to kind of say, you know what, if are you thinking about harming yourself? Do you have a plan? Do you have a means? Means would be, maybe pills or other things. Oh, do you have a plan? Is this happening tomorrow, tonight, next week, whatever it is? But you also have a duty to warn the public if someone like a Diddy is gonna, if you find out that that person is sitting in your chair or on your computer saying that they're going to go harm someone, you have to clarify that information and definitely quantify it. Make sure that that's exactly what's going on. But if someone was to come and say, this is what I'm planning to do to myself, which would end up with them not being alive or others not being alive, you have a duty to report that to the police, and you have a duty to warn the public. So you have a duty to warn whomever it is that this person Diddy is in there saying he's going to go do X, Y, and Z to. You do. So like with Ray J saying, I think he had left like the BET Awards and he was saying, oh, they put me out and I'm sick of taking dirty money and I'm not doing that anymore. And Dirty Money, wasn't that a group? I could be wrong because I don't listen to all of the hip hop music anymore like that. I listen to what I listen to. I rock with the music that I love. But I think that was a group that Diddy had called Dirty Money. But y'all can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. And I think Diddy, one of his subsidiaries is named Dirty Money. So, a lot of people thought, well, is Ray J talking about Diddy when he's saying this? Is this what he's talking about? He's talking about, things that he's had to, do and taking the quote unquote dirty money from doing it. And he's tired of it and all this, that, and the third. I don't know. But it's very interesting that several months later, he was on the edge saying, if I didn't have my kids, I would just leave. I would go. I wouldn't be here anymore. And that's very sad and very concerning. And I did a whole video on that. It's very sad and concerning. Right? Mental health is a lot of times in crisis in this country. A lot of people are. And let me just say this too. If you are in crisis and or you feel away, you need someone to talk to, you're going through something with your husband, your mama, your daddy, your kids, whatever it is. If you feel in crisis, and crisis means whatever it is for you, you can always dial 988 from any phone, or you can text it. And it's available to 24/7, 365, any day or night. There's always help out there. So don't feel like you can't get any help. And you're not alone. But so this is what bothers me is that Ray J has the audacity to go on there. But I think this too, much like I said about Usher. I'm going to err on the side of, these are not Ray J's words. I'm going to err on the side of Diddy and his goons have told him, you owe me. Get your ass on that TV in front of somebody that's respectable and say, y'all got to stop. We need empathy from these people. Or I'm going to expose you too. Could be all of the above, some of the above, or none of the above. But that's what I'm going to go with. I feel the same way about, yesterday I did a video on Diddy's children, Kim Porter's children. And they put out a statement basically saying very similar things about this manuscript that's been going around. That it's not, it's false. And I'm like, I have compassion for all of her children. I have compassion for any child, even though her children, some of them are above the age of 18, right? They're adults, but they're still Kim Porter's children. So my heart goes out to anybody who has lost a loved one, especially a parent. People, listen, grief is lifelong, like they said in their statement. But I think it's especially egregious and difficult and I don't think anyone ever gets over the loss of a parent. And it doesn't really matter if that parent is good or bad. I just think that's just my Janelle's reality over here, personal opinion. I also don't think people get over the loss of a child or a sibling. These are the things I just don't think. I think we learn how to cope with that person no longer being here. People need their moms. And the thing that bothers me the most about what happened to Kim Porter, one, it don't add up. And things to me, if they don't add up, there's a lie somewhere. That's my personal opinion. Why does a perfectly healthy, seemingly healthy, let me say that's what has been reported, woman who has flu-like symptoms suddenly die of a heart attack? I mean, suddenly pass away of pneumonia. Apparently, this woman lived in a very large home. I'm going to say she had some money. I don't know how much. I'm going to say she had some money because she certainly had access to a doctor coming to her home and giving her IVs and things like that, right? So the average person isn't having their doctor or whomever come to their home and give them IVs because they don't feel good. That's something that typically people of means or have people who have a little more access can do. So I have a hard time believing that Miss Porter passed away that way. Her kids, and that post said that the cause of her death is long been established. That's what they said on their post. And they want, these rumors about the book that was put on sale on Amazon that's now a bestseller. They want the public to know that that's, false and that their mom never had a manuscript of any kind. Two things. One, most good parents, and I don't know all good parents, I don't even know most good parents, but my guess is if they're good parents and they love their children, they're not going to tell their children everything. So it's interesting to me that Albie Shore, Kim Porter's ex, the father of Kim Porter's son, Quincy, came out and said, this is lies. That book is lies. There's lies. Kim didn't have no manuscript. That's what he said, and I'm paraphrasing. Other people have come out and said they don't believe it, the things in the book. I can't say if I do or don't believe anything in the book because guess why? I ain't read the book. A. B. I don't know Kim Porter. I don't know her kids. I know part of her story that's been, unfortunately exposed to the world, and to some very fortunately exposed to the world, which is why possibly Diddy is being investigated. Maybe there's a portion of that as a reason why he's being investigated. And so I can't say one way or another. But what I do know for sure, people do not tell you everything. And I don't care if that's your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your bestie, your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your cousin, your husband. Like, it doesn't matter. Your children, they're not going to tell you everything. And there's no way for anyone to know exactly what someone else is thinking. Period. So I'm going to roll with, I get what the kids were trying to say, but I also feel like it's in the same vein of what Ray J did. In terms of, I don't believe that those children wrote that. I don't. Feels very much to me that this could be a publicist or an attorney or someone like that, and possibly even their father, who said, hey, listen, I'm really struggling right now. I really need y'all to, put out a statement to the public in support of me and try to, in my opinion, in a hope that this will stop being breaking news every single day, and people will find some sort of empathy for him. I don't have any empathy for him. I think in general, I always feel that everyone deserves a second chance. In general, this one is hard for me. And I'm not even his kids. I'm not anybody that's been violated by him. I have a tough time with the forgiveness part on him, with this man. It's just so egregious. And even after the lawsuits came out, he still continued his behavior. So it's sort of like, it's sad. That being said, I do think there's elements to what the children wrote that are absolutely real and true and how they feel. And I do think it's beyond heartbreaking that their mom is gone at such an early age for reasons that just don't add up, because she has access to healthcare. In this country, people don't just pass away in their 40s from pneumonia just all of a sudden. I'm not saying I'm a professional doctor. I'm not. So if you have issues with your healthcare, call your doctor. But I am saying it's just suspicious to me. That being said, let's move on to Beyonce and Jay-Z, child. Listen. Ooh-wee. Let me share my screen about Beyonce. The internet has been ablaze for years now about Beyonce and Jay-Z and whether or not they are getting a divorce. I don't know if they're getting a divorce. Y'all think they're getting divorced? Also, a lot of people have said that Jay-Z's time is up too. That's what they said, that his time is up. And that Beyonce is going down with him at some point. And then, they have a lot of people who love Beyonce. This is my issue. And again, these are my opinions on here on Chanel's Reality. Everything on Chanel's Reality is alleged, and it's in my opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes only. So today we're talking about some things that are dealing with Diddy. All of the mainstream media, I'm sorry, not mainstream media, but all of the celebrities in Hollywood and the higher ups and people with money, people that have been associated with Diddy, Bad Boy, and everything in between that's associated with this man, suddenly all of a sudden have all been on mute. Nobody has anything to say. And we want to know why. Why y'all all on mute over there? Why y'all don't have nothing to say? I mean, because people, this is what I'm going to tell you. Once he gets indicted, not indicted, but once he gets convicted, if that happens, what they're going to come out and say, if they decide to come out and say anything, and I highly doubt that they will, because I think if they could come out and say something right now, Meaning, if they didn't think it was going to be detrimental to their own success and career and, you know, access to money and so on and so forth, they would say something. If you believe that videotape of that young lady running down the hallway and then, you know, Diddy, Cassandra Ventura, Cassie, you watch that video and you still don't think he's as egregious as all of these lawsuits say he is, and you've done nothing that's going to destroy your career that Diddy and anyone else could blackmail you with, wouldn't you say something? Wouldn't you say this is terrible? This is atrocious? I haven't even heard the standard reply, response, which is, well, you know what? He deserves his day in court. And let's just give this man his day in court. I haven't even heard that from all of these people who have all this money and all this access, who've been to this man's parties. From the Hamptons to wherever else he was having them. They've been to the parties. They ain't saying nothing. But listen, the streets have been saying that Beyonce is gonna get a divorce from Jay-Z. And you know what? If you haven't heard or don't know, Jay-Z's his past has some violence in it. These are the facts and they're undisputed. He's been arrested multiple times. He pow-powed his brother with a pew-pew when he was living in New York years ago. You can go find his mugshot. It's out there. Then he was in some club in the 90s, I believe, or maybe early 2000, but I believe it was the 90s, where he allegedly used a sharp object, I'll say that because there's certain words we can't say on YouTube, to insert in someone else's body, another person's body, that's basically he felt as though had pre-released some of his music from his album or his whole album. I don't know the whole story about that. And he was arrested for it. Somehow that person that had a sharp object, apparently and allegedly wielded by Sean Carter, Jay-Z, said later it wasn't him. I don't know about y'all, but money and intimidation can get people to recant, and fear can get people to recant the actual truth. It happens every single day. So, but back to Beyonce and Jay-Z. So it's interesting to me. Let me add this last thing too. It's been long rumored that Jay-Z had some sort of sexual relationship with Foxy Brown, who was his artist at Rockefeller way back in the 90s when she was only 15. That's what the rumor says. I don't know. I wasn't there. But that's what's been said out here in these, YouTube streets and other streets. And so whenever he got with Beyonce, it's also rumored that he met her in her teens as well. Somewhere between 16 and 18 or 16 and 19, allegedly, is when he met her. And they allegedly started dating when she was 19 or 20. If you believe that, I got an island to sell you in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I do. I got an island to sell you. Listen, I wasn't there. I don't know these people. I wasn't there. But I just do think that people are predictable. And if you was already dating underage girls, allegedly, I don't find it far-fetched to think that you dated this underage girl. I want to believe that Beyonce, I don't know how to feel, because on one hand, I want to believe she's not that naive to not know that her husband's into some things that aren't so savory. Because if you listen to Jaguar, right? Jaguar's like, Sean Carter is worse than Diddy. And I'm like, how you get worse than Diddy? Child, how you get worse than Diddy? It's almost as if someone's saying, well, Napoleon, who also was a dictator, if I'm not mistaken, way back, is worse than Hitler. It's hard to imagine someone worse than that man, Hitler. That's what I get when you hear people say, people like Jaguar Wright claim that Sean Carter is worse than P. Diddy. It's like, say what now? I didn't even know who Jaguar Wright was until sometime last year. She just kept popping up in my feed of, like, how the YouTube or Google algorithm will suggest this, that, and she just kept popping up. And I'm like, who is this lady? So eventually one day I just clicked on it. And I kind of was like, oh. Now I can't say whether or not she's telling the truth or not. I don't know her. But I will say this. Sounds like some of the stuff that she's saying or has said about Sean P. Diddy, Puffy Combs, Shitty Diddy is what I call him, is accurate. She also said, she was like, what did she say? She said, y'all running around here talking about free Britney. Y'all need to say free Beyonce. She said that, Bentley, get away. Sorry, my dog is over here chewing like he an old person. Like them old people that's chewing and ain't nothing in their mouth. They just shout out to the old people. I hope to get old one day. I'm just saying. Put my teeth in my mouth though. I don't want to be chewing and ain't nothing in my mouth. Anyway, sidebar. But no, seriously, all jokes aside, Jaguar Wright seems to have been right about some of this stuff. She thinks that Sean Carter is up next. I don't know if he's up next, but I do think he's definitely going down because the internet is ablaze with conspiracy theories and people who totally believe, 100% believe that Jay-Z, got Beyonce when she was a young tender, so to speak, and it was a business transaction. Lots of people have said that. Like I said, I don't know Jay-Z and I don't know Beyonce, so I can't say, but who knows? The one thing that I will say that is just, I never understood was that video when, Solange Knowles, Beyonce's little sister, was trying to beat the brakes off Jay-Z. And Beyonce was really kind of just like letting that, like she was just kind of like blocking the kicks and stuff, but she was, for the most part, unbothered. Why would your little sister do that? And why would you allow her to? The reason you would allow her is because whoever she's delivering these kicks and punches to, you must agree with the reason that she's doing it. Again, I don't know. Innocent until proven guilty. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But so last night I kept getting these alerts, alert after alert after alert. Beyonce filed for divorce and Jay-Z and and she's trying to. Another thing that people have been saying is that Beyonce, Lord Jesus, is that Beyonce is preparing to divorce Jay-Z because of the fact that, but she's trying to get her money in order, right? And I'm like, what money? Did she say it was $1 billion on there? What money she need to get for you? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But the things that people are saying are things like, the fact that she came out with this Cowboy Carter album that's I've never heard one song on it, but shout out to her for that. Beyonce wanted to interrupt the market. Let's just go and interrupt the market though, okay? They also said that, she has some sort of hair care products because, she was on the internet or maybe on her social media, I believe, putting it in her hair and getting her hair, shampooed and all that and kind of promoting it. And there were some other things that I think she now has a tequila line and stuff like that. So people are basically drawing conclusions from all of those things to say, this is what we view as Beyonce preparing to, for Diddy. I mean, not for Diddy, but for her husband's downfall. Can't say if that's true or not, but I will say this. I do think it is very interesting that for 20 years now, Beyonce's only real, seemingly really her own real scope has been music, being I feel a very, very good entertainer. I think her music is good. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Shout out to her. I'm not knocking people, especially if they're down. And if all of these things are true about Jay-Z, and it might be coming down the pike, I could understand, I have empathy for her if that's the case. And especially if she didn't know. That being said, I do think that there are things between a husband and a wife that can go on and one of the spouses don't know or are unaware. But I've been married almost 20 years, and I think this. I think that you are aware of your spouse's energy and behavior. And if it shifts, you will notice, right? That's my opinion about that. On one hand. On the other hand, these people do not live a traditional life like me and my husband, right? My husband does travel abroad for work, but he's not traveling abroad for work 8 months out of the year. And we see each other, off and on. He works from home. I work from home. So we see each other all day for the most part, mostly. But I understand what he's doing and where he's going. And the same thing with regards to me, he understands. So if suddenly he's doing things, and he's unreachable or he's doing things that are outside his norm, even though their norm, I'm sure, is completely different from the average person's norm. Even whatever, she'll still understand their norm if he changes. That being said, she can't be everywhere all the time. And the one thing you can say about Beyonce, from the beginning, she has always been extremely private about her personal life. And that's understandable. You're exposing everything else of your life, your talents, your beauty, your dance, and, out here for the world to consume and criticize, if we're being honest, right? And she really has been heavily criticized over the years for certain things, right? She didn't have a real baby. She had a surrogate. Her stomach was flat. She is, kicked these girls out of the group. I remember that happening in 1999 or 2000 when the group split up and then they came back with that Survivor album. Banger from beginning to end. That was my album. But she's had her own controversy. She's on as controversy with, the country music people and all that. But for the most part, she's been very to herself. She keeps everything, I think, in her personal life, really close to the vest. I can't even remember the last time I seen Beyonce do an interview of any kind. It's been years, in my opinion, and I think that's very intentional. She, for the most part, I think she really will give away what's going on in her life and her grievances. She airs it out in her music. If you go listen to her album, she definitely airs it out in her music. But let me see if I have anything else on here. I don't know that I have anything. Is there something on here that someone is saying about Beyonce? Hold on. Let me see.
What I've heard about.
Oh, yeah. I do want to play this. Okay. So hold 1 second, please. Let me share my screen. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Chanel's Reality. I do appreciate it. Hit that like button. Where is it? Where did Beyonce's information go? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you can. Okay, so let's get into what people are thinking and saying and have been saying about Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship.
As a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive into today's celebrity gossip, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Don't forget to share it with your friends so they can join in on the fun too. If you enjoy our content and want to support the channel, consider sending a super chat or super sticker. Every bit helps us bring you more of the content you love. Now let's get into it. Today, we're diving into the world of speculation surrounding the power couple of the music industry, Beyonce.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Something happened, but let me go and share this with you guys.
Beyonce and Jay-Z. These two have been a symbol of love and success for over 2 decades. But recently, there's been a buzz on the internet about a potential divorce. Now, these rumors are just that, rumors. There's no official confirmation from either Beyonce or Jay-Z. But the internet is abuzz with speculation.
Now is shit trying to detach herself from Jay-Z just so she don't get implicated. That's crazy.
Yeah.
She's trying to attach herself from Jay-Z's hairstyle because she know that she can get implicated.
And some are even linking Jay-Z to the recent Puff Daddy saga. In addition to this, videos have been resurfacing that show Jay-Z, T.I., McMullen, Rick Ross, and Puff Daddy together. This has led to further speculation and rumors, with some suggesting that they might have been working as a gang involved in trafficking. However, it's important to note that these are unconfirmed rumors and should be taken with a grain of salt.
For our family to give our kids a different outcome. You see.
So listen, like I said, I don't know these people. I can't say what's going to happen to Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship. I can't even say that they are in a relationship, that they don't love each other and, you know, whatever else. I don't know. I don't know them. But the internet, for whatever reason, for years has wanted them on some, I don't know why, I've heard this year after year that, oh, she's in some sort of controlled relationship and, you know, he, you know, she's basically his employee and they don't even live together and they're not in love. And I don't know. I can't say. I will say this, if they're not together and they don't love each other and whatever else, I can't tell. I do think that there have been a few situations like, you know, this past Grammys, I believe it was it the Grammys, where Jay had went on the stage, Jay-Z went on the stage and was basically saying, this young lady, when he was referring to Beyonce, has won every album. Basically, she's won a Grammy. She has more Grammys than everyone, essentially. I think it's to a certain extent what Jay-Z was saying about Beyonce. But she's never won album of the year. And if you guys think back, remember when Kanye went on the stage and interrupted Taylor Swift, who at the time I think was like 17 anyways, or 18 years old. No one knew who Taylor Swift was. I didn't know who she was. I shouldn't say that. I would say there's a subset of people who knew who Taylor Swift was. Kanye getting on the stage and taking that mic made her an international superstar immediately and instantly. Anyway. Because he got on the stage and he was like, yo, Taylor, I'm gonna give you the mic back and I'm gonna let you have your time to say whatever. But Beyonce, the greatest album of the year, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, are you serious, Kanye? Child, Kanye also said, what he say? They could control Beyonce and Jay-Z. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. I was like, ooh. That's what Kanye said. But I want to say this. Like I said, I don't know these people and I can't speak intelligently about these people's private life and what they're doing or not doing. I can just say what the internet has been saying. I can say that there's been times where I've noticed, like at the Grammy when he gave that speech about her, where she clearly didn't look happy about it. A few years ago when Blue Ivy she probably was maybe 4 at the time or 3. Beyonce was performing somewhere. I can't remember it, but wherever it was important. And Jay-Z was on the stage with Blue Ivy, and I think whatever it was, Beyonce won something, and I think he announced it. I felt like there was a disconnect 100%. She had on like this, she's been running around the earth for a whole seemingly 8 or 9 years at this point in a leotard. She can do whatever she wants, okay? But she had on this kind of, it seemed like a glass textured blue. It was very sparkly, like leotard with long sleeves, and he was on the stage and holding Blue Ivy, and she kissed Blue Ivy, and then he kind of went in for the kiss, and you could just tell. I could tell. I'm a whole wife, right? So I know when it's just like, don't breathe in my direction. It happens when you've been married for a very long time. Nobody's happy all the time, with or without a spouse. Nobody, none of us. So, being married is one of those things where you have to kind of overlook things that sometimes annoy the hell out of you because they're another person. And it wouldn't matter if you're married or not. When you live with people, for a long time, they're gonna do shit to get on your nerves. It just is what it is, just a fact. So, anyways, but as a wife, as a person who's been in a long-term relationship with my husband for 20 years, watching Beyonce on the stage and watching how she responded to his speech at the Grammys, I'm looking like she looked pissed at this man. What did you do, Jay? Just saying. I know I've talked to you guys previously about this lady Sloan Bella. She's a medium psychic type lady, and I listened to her video. She has a YouTube channel, Sloan Bella, and there's another Sloan on the internet. He's also really good. His YouTube, I think, is called Let's Get Into It. He's really cute too. But Sloan Bella has a lot to say about Jay-Z. So I won't play the whole Jay-Z and Beyonce, actually. I won't play the whole video because one, I don't have time. But two, I would love you guys to go listen to her video and make your own, decision of, what you think is true, accurate. She's been accurate on a lot. She's accurate about Diddy. Just saying. So I'm going to play a little bit of Sloan Bella's, what she had to say. I hope I didn't delete or close out the Sloan Bella thing. I didn't mean to. Hopefully I didn't. Oh my goodness. Did I close out Sloan Bella? No, I didn't. Okay. Let me share my screen about Sloan Bella. If you guys have not, if you're just coming in, please hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification button. It's a free and easy way to support my channel. Okay, let's listen to what Sloan Bella has to say, child.
Kind of a captive, but in a public form and has no cognitive or conscious awareness of this. That's a weird thing to say, but that's just the way, that's the energy I'm picking up on. No conscious awareness of what's going on around him. Also, keep in mind, they are very much, and here's what I'm getting. I am getting both Jay-Z and Beyonce, because see, he procures her out there. He is her handler, and he is the one that pushes her out there public, and then he profits off her. So we're looking at, and I don't care how much talent you think they have. I don't care how much talent you think they have. She was chosen for him. It is a karmic thing looking at their chart, but she was chosen for him in order to help him get where he needed to go. So she's the muse, but let's use this in a different way. Sometimes we use the word muse in the terms of profiteering off of it. He's very aware of entertainers, male and female, where he needs to go to keep his money coming in and what he's actually selling. Now, this connects him to R. Kelly, high level pimping and pandering for the music industry through the trafficking. My camera cut off when I said trafficking, through the trafficking of human beings. Okay. So I'm going to put that out there in that fashion. You, me, them, we're going to start seeing through the veil when it comes to Jay-Z. And within 3 years, public favor is removed. Now, he's not the first one to go down behind P. Diddy, but he's a close second. So it's a combination that's coming after him. And when they take him down, they're going to take Beyonce down behind him. And it's going to start crumbling. Okay, so it's the next 3 years. On an energy level, what this is understand when you do occultist high level, and Jay-Z is a high level occultist, as is Beyonce. When you're involved in high level entity conjuring, which they are, when you're involved in that kind of high level type of giving yourself over to those energies, you are not really in control of what happens after a certain point. Like, no matter what anybody says, no matter how big and strong and special they think they are, when you let something into your body and you think you can control it, that's because they've let you think that you can control it, not that you can control it. Okay. So when you're looking at that, I want you to understand that there is a point in time where people become known and are pushed in the direction where they can no longer get into the physical vessel or the husk. They're kind of like husky. Now, this brings me to another weird energy. When I'm looking, when I'm looking at the children of a lot of celebrity people, I realize that these are...
Oh, Lord. Oh.
I'll use the word synthetics, but they act synthetic. I'm not saying they're not human. I'm just saying synthetically inclined. I can't read the energy. And if I can't read the energy as a barometer, if I can't look at you in the eyes and read your energy and see what you're doing, then there is something that is blocking me from doing so. And now it can be a block by them, but it can also be because they come from a different origin source. Okay. So what they've done in our society is they've gotten us so used to in vitro and having babies in test tubes. Do we really know if someone chooses to do that in a higher echelon, the elite, as they call them, in a higher echelon, do we really know exactly what is going to happen with those creations? Because we don't. And Jay-Z and Beyonce are kind of at that level where we're not really sure where that energy came from. Whatever, it's blocked. Now they can put a protection spell around their kid. And if I were them, I would, because the public is also crazy. Okay. So the public can be crazy and they can be crazy. When I look at this though, I see and am inclined to think that there's a lot more going on. There's a lot of substituting of energy with these two. And there's a lot of moving in the direction. And if you've ever been backstage at a concert and you watch people perform, when they come back into their physical vessel, their body, from being out of their body while they're...
Now, Sloan, no, sis, we ain't never been able to see people, watch them come into their body. I mean, I don't know. I ain't never seen none of that, and I don't want to see none. Okay, God, listen, that is not my ministry. I don't want to know. I want to see people come back and everybody listen. God knows that ain't my ministry. But that's what Sloan Bella has to say. Let's see what else she has to say about them, about Jay-Z.
He's probably next in line, but I'm kind of shooting off with Chris Brown, and then I'm shooting off with Justin Bieber, and then I'm kind of going to MC Hammer. Like, it's happening. These people are being used on different levels to take other people's money, clean it, move things all about the country under the guise of their creative talents. Now, Jay-Z, this is going to come to a screeching halt. Screeching halt. Russell Simmons pops up in the conversation. Okay, in the conversation.
Listen.
So I have not heard head nor tail of Russell Simmons.
Listen, where the hell is Russell? Russell, listen. I don't know Russell, but the streets been saying for a long time that he got Kimora Lee Simmons off of the runway somewhere, and she was only like in the 10th or 11th grade. That's what the streets been saying. He's, I stopped trusting Russell when I don't know how old you guys were. If anyone in the chat or out there in the hemisphere remembers the Rush card, I never had one, but I was just kind of like, I don't understand why I need to pay you $5 to get your credit card. I don't understand it and you don't have to be Russell Simmons. I don't understand that with Visa, MasterCard, American Express, any of them. I don't need to do all of that to give me money. Stop it, knock it off. But when I saw that years ago, I was just kind of like, that's interesting. And then he seems to have not, I don't know if he has a lot of money now, because if you go listen to what Kimora Lee Simmons has said about him, he's not doing too well, allegedly. But I think he's in like Bali, and I think Bali is one of those countries that don't extradite, which basically means if, let's say, our government or any other government wants to go and get him because he's been accused of something, and we want to go get him, they won't let you. I think Russia's like that. I think China's like that. There's many countries that are like that. But why is he over there, Russell? Come to the front. Why are you over there? Why are you over there, sir? What you doing? What you hiding from? Anyway, let me finish listening. Let's finish listening to Sloan Bella.
This pops right in right now. for months. I mean, he went off somewhere and who the hell knows where he went. Those words, that hiding will come to play in the future months. We're going to see conversation from Russell Simmons. It's either behind the scenes, something that is going to bring about
Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana, the new Eau de Parfum Intense.
Before Contrape, I had tried a bunch of fad diets, little short-term things that never really seem to last.
A change in how the public looks at Jay-Z. There's like all kinds of things going on. He has a target directed at him because people want him found out. Beyonce does as well. This is what they're doing. Changing the candle wax, upping the game, upping the ante. The energy is very, very odd, but this is what I feel. So it's 3 years, and then in the year 2036, it no longer exists. He is a expression of his former self, and that former self is contained in such a way that we don't recognize it, and it doesn't have the power that it wields right now. So we are in a long line of circumstances happening right now with a takedown, and it's just waiting for them to be taken down, and they've been promised otherwise. They have been promised otherwise. They, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all of the other ones I mentioned, but this is about Jay-Z, they are in the process. Now, what I am seeing is Jay-Z's beginning, okay? So the succession of being unraveled in the next 3 years starts with a burglary of something. So Jay-Z is in the process of having some connection to missing burglarized items, and it's going to come up around him. That's the first marker. And I'm not sure what it is he steals. I don't know if this is a stolen song, a stolen item, a stolen car. I don't know what it is, but it is a burglary of something. I have stolen, and now I'm being accused of taking this. And that is the beginning of it, because they will start nosing around with him. So there's like a lot of nosing around. It's in the theft of something. And by theft, I don't quite know what I mean by that, but it's by the theft of something.
So, like I said, you guys can go on her channel and you can, listen to it from the beginning to end. But she does say in her video about how Jay-Z and Beyonce are very much like they fit together. And I believe that. I do. That's why I've kind of, even before I even knew who Sloan Bella was, I've kind of always felt like, why are people so convinced that Beyonce and Jay-Z are pretending, or they're going to get a divorce seemingly every 2 years? Somebody's on the internet saying that. I never really understood it, because I'm like, they don't ever seem like they're unhappy to me. But again, people like Beyonce and Jay-Z are very good and crafted at keeping the people at bay. They're not going to take any interview, do any interview. They're not going to be, shocked during an interview. If they do give you one, they're going to know exactly, they're going to control their narrative. They're going to know everything that's going to be asked, what they're going to say about it, so on and so forth. So on one hand, I feel bad for, I do feel bad for Beyonce, simply because, on some level, she's from Houston, Texas, where I'm from. She grew up in the neighborhood where I went to, where I started my college. And actually I went to college in both of those, like the University of Houston as well. So it's interesting. But anyways, so, you always kind of want to have some sort of, reverence for the people that came from where you're from, and especially when they're able to execute and excel to greatness, not only in, their own talents and gifts, but in their career, so, you want to see those types of people thrive. You want to root for them. And she's out here, making music and dancing around, the world in her leotard, and I ain't mad at her. I have compassion for anyone that, if you get married or you are in a relationship that, you hoping are going to last and whatnot, you're going to be thoughts, because the success rate of marriage in Hollywood is it's in the toilet below the sewage tank. Okay. So for them to succeed is almost like unheard of. And so I feel bad that if she isn't a part of the malarkey and isn't a part of whatever it is that Jay-Z is out here doing and has been doing allegedly with Diddy and others, I feel bad for her. If she's truly unaware of all of it, you know, because it's kind of like, yo, I trusted you. What are you doing? You know? And then the other part I feel bad is, you know, she has kids. What person goes into a marriage hoping for it to end badly? Mostly no one, unless you're a person that's in the marriage to gain something, meaning like money and stuff like that. But they're both, you know, very famous. They've accumulated a lot and they have kids together. And I feel bad for the children. I do. And if you can, if anybody knows, where in the hell is the little boy? Because then she has twins, and there's like Blue Ivy, and then there's the other one. I don't know her name, but she looks exactly like a copy of Blue Ivy. I swear to God, I'm like, how do you make a child that looks exactly like the other child? It's interesting to me. But I feel the same way about Jordan Woods. You know, that young lady who was besties with Kylie Jenner from the Kardashians and all that. That young lady, her sister, her little sister, and her literally are twins. Like she is a copy of that. And I'm like, what they do that? I mean, exact copy. But that being said, where is the little boy that Beyonce has? I haven't seen him. And Blue Ivy is at this stage, I'm assuming like 12 years old, 12 or 13. I can't remember. Let's see. How old is Blue Ivy? I said that wrong. Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy. Yeah, she's 12. So I don't know. What do y'all think about Blue Ivy? I think listen, when this does come out, if what Sloan Bella is saying is true, that, you know, Jay-Z is going to go down and, you know, him and Beyonce's residence isn't going to be in America anymore and all that kind of stuff. I wonder what Blue Ivy is going to have to say, because, you know, children start smelling themselves, as Black people say, the old people say, you know, around the age of 12, they get their friends, they get that first little boy or girl that they like, you know what I mean? They are gaining a sense of self and independence from their family, or from their parents rather. And, you know, they start listening more to their friends, which you should never do. But no, that's what happens. And it doesn't matter that your mom is Beyonce and your dad is Jay-Z. It doesn't matter. It happens to everybody. They start, you know, gaining their own opinions about the world and how they see it, how they see them, how they see their parents, how they see their siblings, how they see their family, you know, how they see their peers, what they like, don't like, what they should accept and what they shouldn't. That is going to happen. But I feel like Beyonce's done an excellent job, I think, on some level, her and Jay-Z, at keeping even Blue Ivy silent, because I ain't never heard the little girl speak. I think she was on tour with them or something. I don't know, because I didn't go to that tour. I didn't even know that damn tour was happening. And it seemed like everybody on planet Earth, and I like Beyonce's music. It seemed like everybody on planet Earth all of a sudden was going to this big ass concert. I was just like, it was everywhere. It was just like everybody got the outfit. And I guess it was shocking to me, because I was just kind of like, it was the amount of celebrities too that were like excited to go on this Beyonce journey in terms of her tour. So, you know, shout out to all of those people. They say it was great. It was a great tour. That's what I heard. But I'm just not paying you $1,000 to come see you. You're just a human being, Beyonce or otherwise. I can't think of a person that I would pay $1,000 to go see. I would love to think of one, but I can't think of one. I can't. I don't know any music, and I love music. I don't know any music that I'm paying you that's that serious. I mean, I can listen to it. What Nene say? I listen to it on the Spotify. Anyway, guys, like I said, let me know your thoughts about everything that I've talked about here today. Let me know your thoughts about what Suge Knight have to say. Like, why are we supposed to be listening to a whole criminal that's in prison for allegedly running over somebody? Anyway, he doing interviews from prison. I mean, listen, if Suge can go to prison for unaliving someone with his vehicle and then still have a whole podcast and be on reputable news, I don't want to say channels, but platforms, then anybody can make it. I'm just saying. Listen, you just got to make the best of where you are. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think about that. What his comments about, Puff Daddy, basically being groomed by Clive allegedly, and being a person who is doing what was done to him. That's essentially what he said. I don't rock with that. I'm like, you're a whole grown ass man. You're making decisions for yourself. Don't be putting it on the person that allegedly did something to you when you were younger so that you could advance in your career. I don't really give a none. I think that's an excuse. Let me know what you think about Ray J then going on and being what seemed like a maturing candidate with, seeming to me his Diddy orders or his Diddy's lawyers orders to go on there and sacrifice his own personal values. And I don't know if Ray J has personal values, but that to me was a sellout move if I've ever seen one. And then what do you guys think about Jay-Z and Beyonce? Y'all think they're gonna get divorced? What y'all think, Soul Belly? I think Soul Belly, right? She was right about Diddy. She said Kim Porter told her, Diddy, listen, his crumbling was about to start in November. Yeah, that's when Cassie, that's when she filed her lawsuit. Then Soul Belly said something was gonna happen in March. She's like, it's not over. It's not over. She said that's what Kim Porter told her. And that's when they raided Diddy's houses simultaneously. She 240 is all I'm saying, because that man is in jail right now. So I don't know. I think Jay-Z is not what you see is what you get. So I think that he's going down. I don't know why he's going down, but I really do hope that the Southern District of New York brings Justin Bieber to the let me just say this before I go. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Diddy's attorney was, I don't know who he was talking to. He was being interviewed by someone. And he basically said that that Diddy, he expects for Diddy to testify. What? Did y'all give him some of that, whatever it is that we in prison? He got to be smoking something. If his attorney is going to allow him to go and defend himself, and his attorney was all saying like, yeah, he's gonna want to testify, and if he testifies, he wants to tell his story, and it's a very heartbreaking story, and how heartbroken he was, with the situation with him and Cassie. I want you to knock it all the way the fuck off. Stop it. But listen, if that happens, I am here for it. Please let this idiot get on the stand and let it be televised. No different than what happened with OJ. I remember I was in the 10th grade. They let us watch it on TV in the science room. I remember it was like a 2-year. We watched it every day, y'all. I'd come home, my grandma watching it on TV. I hope that's what happens. I highly doubt it, because I don't think that the whatever court gets it, or if it stays in the court that it's in right now, I don't think that they're going to allow that. But it would be great if they would allow it to be televised. That would be amazing. It would be good TV, because I certainly want to see what this idiot has to say, what excuses he's going to make for being an absolute savage and a menace to society. So yeah, let me know about all that. I was gonna play about what is his name? 50 Cent, but I don't feel like it. I'm tired and I need to make some dinner. So I will talk to you guys later. Like I said, hit the like button. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. Like I said, hit that like button and subscribe button on your way out. Please hit the notification button. So anytime I'm gonna go live or I upload a video, you'll be notified. Thanks, guys. Bye. Have a good evening.